Welcome everybody, and today we're taking a look at an Indicator limited edition release. It's not a brand new one by any means, as it came out in 2023, and it is 1932's Broken Lullaby. So I got this as part of Indicator's massive sale. I got 16 other films alongside this one. But out of the ones that I hadn't seen before, I think there were 3 that I had done, so 14. Out of the ones that I've seen, out of those 14 so far, this has easily been the one that has impressed me the most. So I figured it was well worth talking about, especially since it's only got about 3,300 or so reviews on Letterboxd, which, considering there are many films on there that have 1 million or 2 million reviews, I feel like this is highly underrated. So yeah, it's directed by Ernst Lubitsch, who also did The Shop Around the Corner and Bluebeard's Eighth Wife. And it's a drama film, clocking in at 77 minutes long. Stars Lionel Barrymore, who is also in Mark of the Vampire, It's a Wonderful Life, and Key Largo, as well as Phillips Holmes, who was in The Criminal Code, as well as Nancy Carroll, who was in The Kiss Before the Mirror, which I find to be a highly underrated James Whale film. So, a young French soldier in World War One is overcome with guilt when he kills a German soldier who, like himself, is a musically gifted conscript, each having attended the same musical conservatory in France. The fact that the incident occurred in war does not assuage his guilt. He travels to Germany to meet the man's family. So yeah, having only seen a pair of comedies from the director before this, as yeah, Shop Around the Corner and Bluebeard's Eighth Wife were far more in the comedy kind of realm of films. Uh, I was generally surprised that this not only a different genre to those films, because to be honest, that could easily be a comedy or a romance comedy or just a romance in general, based on the cover. I was surprised that he was able to make such an excellent dramatic effort, being only knowing him for his comedies. The cast is also great. The pacing is perfect. The plot is highly engaging. It is emotionally impactful without being manipulative, which a lot of these films typically can be that deal with these kind of heavy subject matters. The characterization of our lead is well executed. The conclusion is satisfying, and it is well shot. And ultimately, it also doesn't outstay its welcome at only 77 minutes long. But crucially, it doesn't feel rushed or anything like that. And I really like the fact that when it comes to our lead character meeting this family of the man that he killed, he initially is mistaken, at least by his the guy's fiance, for being a friend of the son and not the killer. And yeah, that makes it very awkward for our lead when it comes to at least breaking the news to the ex fiance. So yeah, a really really good effort. A 4.5 out of 5. Really surprised by how much I enjoyed this, especially since I figured with it being barely 70 minutes that it wasn't going to be all that in depth in terms of its characters or its themes and such, but it really isn't. And yeah, just goes to show you can do a lot with barely an hour of running time. So yeah, there's a booklet, and inside the booklet we've got cast and crew, and then we have "We Must Love What We Have Left" by Christina Newland, and that was from 2023, the release of this film on Blu-ray. And we also have shots from the film as well throughout. And then we have Laugh for Lubitsch by Fred Paisley from 1932. So this is a profile of the director, which was part of a series of articles about film directors written by Fred Paisley for the New York Daily News. It was written shortly after the production of Broken Lullaby, here referred to as The Man I Killed, as that was, I think, the original title for it. So yeah, it's again really cool that they were able to drag up those kind of interviews from 90 years ago. And then we've got great moments in the lives of great people. Lionel Barrymore by Alice Alden, also from 1932. So star Lionel Barrymore received the Academy Award for Best Actor for his role in Clarence Brown's 1931 drama A Free Soul in November 1931. The following year, Alice Alden profiled the actor director for her Great Moments in the Lives of Great People column. So yeah, fantastic actor. And then we've got Samson Ralphson, a clever young writer. So born in New York in 1894, Samson Ralphson was working as an advertising executive who dabbled in short stories when he was encouraged by his secretary to dictate a play to her over a weekend. The result was The Jazz Singer, a Broadway smash which would be adapted into the first synchronized sound feature film in 1927, directed by Alan Crosland. Following a string of stage hits, Ralphson turned to screenwriting, beginning with The Magnificent Lie, which was made in 1931. Molly Merrick of the Atlanta Constitution, profiling a number of Hollywood's top writers, offered this snapshot of Ralphson's eccentric working habits. Then got critical response from the time, and reviews at the time were uniformly positive, with Harold W. Cohen of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette being rhapsodic, and the unnamed reviewer for the Sayre Evening Times was no less effusive, and the Altoona Tribune's summation verges on hyperbole, and the Spokane Chronicle did not dissent from the acclaim. Yeah, well received at the time, which isn't always the case for these kind of heavy hitter thematic films. Some have been, regularly reviled against back in the day. But I guess because this is pre-code, there really wasn't much that was, dictated to the filmmakers to cut out or anything like that to, saw off any edges that it has to it. So yeah, the film was resourced from Universal's HD restoration, created from a 2021 2K scan of a 35mm composite fine grain print. The film's original mono soundtrack was remastered at the same time, and yeah, it looks superb. No real issues with the picture quality or the sound at all. And then in terms of extras on the actual disc itself, got audio commentary with author and film historian Joseph McBride from 2021. The films of Ernst Lubitsch from 2001, clocking in at 69 minutes long. Archival audio recording of a talk by Scott Amon, author of Ernst Lubitsch, Laughter in Paradise, originally presented as part of the British Film Institute's 2001 Lubitsch retrospective at the National Film Theatre in London. Then you got The Man I Killed from 2023, clocking in at 14 minutes long. Video essay on Broken Lullaby and Francois Ozon's 2016 film France, comparing their different cinematic approaches to adapting Maurice Rostand's 1930 play and its 1931 English language translation, because it was originally French by the looks of things. So the English language translation was The Man I Killed by Reginald Bertley. And then you got Image Gallery, new and improved English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing. And yeah, this is apparently limited edition of 3,000 copies for the UK. And again, I said this in a previous review. I think it was the shop around the shop on Sly Corner. The fact that this is 2 years old and there's only 3,000 of them that have been made, and yeah, it's still available in this limited edition form with the booklet, is really rather quite sad. Because this is an excellent film. I know it's 93 years old and it's dealing with heavy subjects, and not a lot of people like films that are as old as this or as as heavy in terms of subject matter as this. But the fact that a film has been released more than 2 years ago now, or at least around 2 years ago, and there's only 3,000 of them, and there's still enough of them to be sold and put in a sale, no less, is really sad. More people need to see films like this, and yeah, I have no qualms whatsoever in saying see it. It's 77 minutes long. It's not going to be the end of the world. If you don't entirely like it, you could watch it in an afternoon or an evening. And yeah, if you do like it, I'm sure you'll like it a lot. So get out there and see if you haven't already. I'm not saying you have to buy it. Just rent it, stream it, any way you can. But just get that out there and see it. And hopefully if you do like it enough, you will go out there and buy it. Because yeah, it is quite sad that these kind of films just, even though there are only 3,000 of them out there, still haven't been fully sold. I imagine when it does sell out eventually in this limited edition form, a standard edition will be released, and maybe that'll be a bit more popular as they are typically cheaper. But at the end of the day, you are still missing out on some decent write-ups from a really well-written booklet, and yeah. But it's the film at the end of the day that matters, and it's well worth seeing, and I do hope that more people get out there and see it, because like I said, barely been reviewed on Letterboxd. I wouldn't have heard of this film if it hadn't been for this release, and yeah, and I'm glad I have heard of it because it was truly excellent. It's easily one of my favourite first time watches of this year, and yeah, I'm glad I took a punt on it, quite frankly. So yeah, well worth seeing. But if you have seen it, if you are one of the few that actually have, then I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.